Have you ever stumbled onto a website that just makes your head spin? Well, today we're diving into one of those. It's called Bibebibebibe. Now, at first glance, it seems like a normal online store, but oh boy, the deeper you go, the stranger it gets. So, is it a business, a university, or something else entirely?
Okay, let's just get right into it. The website is a total contradiction. One minute you're seeing something completely normal, right? Free shipping on orders over $50. Classic online shopping stuff. The next second you get hit with a message like, you are not browsing, you are entering the rift. It's this constant whiplash between, the totally mundane and the deeply metaphysical that makes this whole thing so fascinating.
And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It throws so many different identities at you all at once that it's hard to know where to even begin. So let's try to peel back the layers together and see if we can make sense of this. To really wrap our heads around this, we need a plan. So we're going to start with that bizarre storefront. Then we'll dig into the unaccredited university that's hiding behind it. After that, we'll get into their super dense philosophy, see how they put it all into practice, and finally, try to figure out who the architects of this whole thing even are. All right, first up, the store. Is it just a store, or is there something more going on? We're starting right at the front door, looking at this really confusing homepage to see how it builds into something much, much deeper. Well, they're not exactly trying to hide it. They tell you, right there on the site. This is not a homepage, it's a signal. So they're literally asking you to look past the products, to search for some kind of hidden message. And this slide just captures that split personality perfectly. On one side, you've got all the stuff you'd expect from an online store. A wish list, a shopping cart, order before 5 p.m., you know the drill. But right next to it, you get these poetic, cryptic lines like, the cobwebs are emissaries. The whole thing feels like it's designed to throw you off balance. But just when you think you're getting a handle on the weird store, you click a strange link and boom, you fall down a whole other rabbit hole. Because hidden inside this website is an entire, fully imagined, unaccredited university, the Cosmic University of Echo Rift Studies IX. And believe me, they do not hold back on the description. It is an interdisciplinary portal of multiversal mechanics, diagnostic lore, and philosophical sovereignty. I mean, wow. This is where the project really starts to show its ambition. It's not just a store, it's a whole academic framework. And their curriculum? It's just as wild as you'd think. Forget about textbooks. The core materials here are things like a light novel series, custom-built diagnostic software, and even something they call patent-pending technomagic, like a biosensor for VR fatigue. It's this insane mix of art, lore, and technology. And yep, you can even earn degrees. They offer a Master of Unaccredited Multiversal Mechanics and a Doctor of Echo Rift Epistemologics. And that self-aware unaccredited label is so important. They're not trying to fool anyone into thinking this is a real university. They're using the idea of one to build out their world. So why? Why build all of this? This strange store, this pretends university, it all serves a bigger purpose. See, it's all built on this very specific and pretty dense philosophy of collapse. It's a worldview they call the sovereign diagnostic. Okay, so at the heart of their whole philosophy is this idea that modern society is basically a complex system designed to control and contain us. They use these heavy terms like ritualized containment and systemic erosion to describe it. Their entire project, from top to bottom, is designed to diagnose and expose this hidden system. And their weapon, their tool to fight this system, is something they call mythic infrastructure. Now, this isn't roads and bridges. For them, it's their entire creative output. The films, the software, the art, all of it is designed to work together as a counterstory to the one they think society is selling us. So their films aren't just movies, they call them cinematic indictments. The point isn't to entertain you. The point is to act as a diagnostic tool, a transmission that's designed to, as they put it, rupture containment. They see their films as these active agents of change. And finally, you've got the sovereign broadcast. This is basically their term for everything they make. Think of each item, a piece of art, a magazine post, a piece of software, not as a product, but as a radio signal, pulsing with their specific worldview, just waiting for the right people to tune in. This quote from their director's manifesto just sums it all up perfectly. They are explicitly anti-entertainment. For them, success isn't getting good reviews. It's when a viewer feels indexed, decoded, and activated. They're trying to fundamentally change your perception.
Okay, so that's the philosophy. But what does it actually look like in the real world? It's one thing to write a manifesto, right? It's another thing to build an entire world around it. So let's take a look at their so-called broadcasts and glyphs. You can see this evolution perfectly in their own online magazine. Just look at this timeline. In May of 2024, they sound like a pretty normal lifestyle brand, talking about collaborations with Columbia and Victoria's Secret. But then fast forward just over a year, and the language completely flips to this dense, almost conspiratorial jargon about collapse glyphs and saturation corridors. The shift is, well, it's drastic. And they apply this thinking directly to the stuff they're actually trying to sell. This here is the description for a portrait in their gallery. It's not just a picture, it's a sovereign broadcast that pulses with encoded resonance. It's basically a piece of art made for insiders who already speak their language. And for a cool $1,500, this sovereign broadcast can be all yours. And this is where it all snaps back into focus. The abstract philosophy, the indictments, the mythic infrastructure, it all loops right back to an online store, grounding these cosmic ideas in a very real and pretty expensive transaction. So who in the world is behind this incredibly detailed and complex universe? Well, if you dig through the site, two names keep popping up over and over again, like the architects of this whole strange reality.
Two key figures seem to be at the center of it all. On one side, you have Dr. Melvin Sewell. He's positioned as the academic engine, the diagnostic architect and director. And on the other side is Saikou Venga, who seems to be the creative visionary, the mythic diagnostician and studio founder. It feels like this partnership, this blend of the structured academic and the free-form creative, is really the engine of the entire project.
So, after peeling back all those layers, what is Bibebibebibe? Well, it's not just one thing, that's for sure. It's this impossible fusion of e-commerce, conceptual art, and a deeply conspiratorial philosophy, all somehow packaged into one single, cohesive, and, let's be real, incredibly bizarre universe.
And that leaves us with the final question. What are we actually looking at here? Is this some complex alternate reality game for people to solve? Is it a deeply serious spiritual belief system? Or is it a brilliant, sprawling piece of performance art that's critiquing online culture? The project never gives you a straight answer. And maybe that's the whole point. The signal has been sent, but what it means is ultimately up to whoever receives it.